before this video starts, I would like to tell you guys that I have a Discord link down in the description down below. Most of you probably already know about it, but I want to make sure you guys know about it because that's where I go ahead and announce everything that happens with my channel and just me in general. So yeah, go ahead and check that link in the description and enjoy the video. Yo, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be reviewing my 2 decks that I took to the Clash of Kings tournament, which if you guys didn't see, I did indeed get 2nd place, surprisingly. And yeah, we're going to get right into it. I'm basically just going to show off the 2 decks that I used. And basically tell you guys what I was thinking in the tournament in general. But yeah, so basically I brought in Nova Grappler and Kagero. So basically with the tournament, it was Swiss. You had to select 2 decks, one being your main and one being your alternate. So yeah, Nova Grappler was my main. This was the deck right here. So basically, I just want to say before I talk about everything about the deck, I wanted to talk about what I was really thinking about when I came to this tournament. So basically, I did a bunch of practice. I think about 2 hours of practice before the tournament to try to make sure I'm ready. And let's just say the practice wasn't going too well. So the last 5 games before the tournament started, I lost. Basically, my deck was completely malfunctioning. I had no idea what was going on. So I went to the tournament thinking, okay, I'm going to rush the shit out of everyone and just hope for a couple wins. I didn't think I was even going to get close to top 8, blah, blah, blah. And it ended up working a lot better in the tournament than it did in ranked. So yeah, this is the first deck right here. So basically, it's not hugely different from when I did my other deck video. It's just kind of, again, it's better. Let's just say that. There are a couple of changes I might make because their deck wasn't exactly the way I wanted it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I lost 2 games with this deck and 2 games with Kagero. I think I lost 3 games with Kagero and 2 games with this deck, something like that. And I won like 12 games or something like that. But yeah, here's the deck. So basically running 1 Death Army guy. This was I don't know, I didn't know if I really wanted to use this. I don't think I really even set it up with anything, so that card really wasn't useful that much. Xiao, another card, really didn't use that much. I did use a couple times, but basically it's just for me to try to get my perfect razor and also PGs at certain points. So obviously the 4 PGs and then the razors, the trans razors, and I mean the burst razors and the razor customs. Some people were talking to me saying that running 2 brutal jacks wasn't smart because of the counterblast, and I kind of agree and kind of disagree at the same time. The 11k kind of saved me in a couple rounds, but at the same time the counterblast kind of messed me up a couple times. So it was like a 50-50. I should have kept it, but at the same time maybe not. So 4 trans razors, obviously that card's just insane. I did mess up once with the misplay with my featured match, which I was kind of disappointed about, but it ended up working out anyway. Running 2 King of Sword, which usually I would run 4, but with this deck I did run a Street Bouncer instead. And then also with my old deck, my old first place deck, I didn't run 2 brutal jacks, I ran 1. So I'm running 2 King of Sword, just the 10Ks, 4 high-powered razor custom, and then obviously the Street Bouncer. With the Street Bouncer, I didn't use it that much. I did use it probably 3 times, but it wasn't like this really good card to use, to be honest, in the tournament. Basically, most of my setups really didn't work. It was just me pushing through everything. Okay, so going to grade 3s, for sure, Kaiser. I don't even think I think I rode him once in the entire tournament, and I ended up winning that game. I basically set up the deck so if Sure Kaiser has to be ridden, I can still have a huge chance of winning. So running 4 of those, running 2 Cosmos, which I did misplay a lot with this, to be honest. I try to look at the negatives of what I did. I didn't do a lot of good moves, but with Cosmo, I feel like I could have used it a lot better, and let's just say the chat really let me know. So running 2 of those, running 3 Lion Heat. Oh my gosh, the big save, dude. This card, actually, let me quickly put this on Do Not Disturb. Lion Heat. Oh my gosh, won me like 3 games. Like the fact that I was able to get either another rear guard going or another attack to the Vanguard, it just saved me so many times. At the same time, this was one of the issues with the deck. There's too many counterblasts, which made it so I couldn't set him up as much as I could have. So yeah, running 3 of those. Oops, that was a mistake. So running 3 of those, and then obviously the 4 perfect razors. Obviously the MVP of the deck. If without this, the deck would be useless, let's be honest. But yeah, this is basically, again, obviously the thing that set me up for everything, really, and got me the most wins. So that's the Nova deck. Again, that's the deck I have the most experience with and the most cards for, so I obviously chose that as my main deck. But now the deck that everybody apparently loved, and it worked 10 times better than I expected. I made this deck 3 days before the actual tournament started and barely played with it, but it ended up like I lost only 1 more than with my Razor deck, which is really good for a deck that I just set up recently. So basically with the deck, There are a couple mistakes, and this is why I'm kind of confused on how I was able to get second place, because there are a lot of things in these decks that I would have liked to swap out. I don't know if I was allowed to swap stuff out, but I wasn't going to take the chance, and I really didn't feel like asking, to be honest. But basically with this deck, obviously you got the 4 PGs, you got the 4 8Ks. Then with the other grade ones was where I was kind of confused on what I want to put. So I put these, which I never used. I literally never used them for their skill, which was kind of the whole point, and one of the reasons why I was like, at the end I was like, I should have just not used this. Also running the 10k boost, which I don't think I even used once either. The plan was to use it, but when I wanted to use it, it just didn't work out, basically. And these 6ks, which I used once or twice. Again, these decks were not set up correctly. There are a couple things I want to change, but again, this is how I played and somehow ended up doing well with. So we're running 4 Berserk Dragon, which I got last second. I pulled 1 in a pack, and then I crafted 1 by spending gems for crafting materials. So I have 4 Berserk Dragons. Big MVP there. Definitely helped me out a lot. Have the 10Ks, Nahalims. My 8K Tejases, which obviously I use mostly to get rid of the back row starter, which I did do multiple times. Bellicosity Dragon. Very, very good with this deck. Definitely after using Berserk Dragon skill. Definitely love to throw that out the next turn and then get that counter charge in, so then I can set up for the next card, which is Dragonic Overlord, which I was able to get 4 copies, luckily. 2 from the tournament. I mean, no, not 2 from the ranked season, and 1 I crafted and 1 I had on me already. So big MVP there also as well. Crafted 1 of these. Steel Dragon Blockade, I have 2. Crafted 1, got 1 from a pack. Another big MVP with this deck. Now we have these, which most people didn't run, but I ran, and it worked out once. I only had to ride it once, and it worked out that one time, and I got rid of all of his back row units. So I actually really like this card. It also kind of set up with this 7k, which I think I did use the 7k once with that. So that was good. Then we have the 13k right here, which is a decent card. I actually really like this card because it can set up for 21k attacks. And then Dragonic Waterfall, which I did set up with Dragonic Overlord to get multiple attacks to the Vanguard on the last turn a couple times. So yeah, basically I actually do not recommend using these decks. I'll be honest. There are a bunch of mistakes I made with these that I want to fix. I'm not gonna, the whole premise of this video was to not fix this, but I'll go and tell you guys what I would change. And that is either set up so you get rid of more rear guards with different cards and then use these, or to take these out completely. I don't get rid of enough rear guards for it to be that useful. These, no, not these. The 10Ks I do recommend, but at the same time you could use like Aramo, you could use more of the 6K grade ones that get rid of back rows. But I personally do like this. It just never really set it up that much, and those are the grade ones that I would recommend getting rid of or changing. Grade 2s, I like my grade 2 lineup, and grade 3s you could get rid of Goku and put more of these guys in, but I actually didn't have any more dual axe Arc Dragons, so yep. Or Vortex Dragon. Vortex Dragon is I personally don't like it, but it is a decent card. Okay, so we're gonna go to Nova and tell you guys what I would recommend swapping out, because the decks are just not perfect. Okay, so honestly I'd recommend getting rid of Death Army Guy and putting another Shout. Now personally I do like Death Army Guy in there, but in this tournament it just did not help me. You could take out, oh, I misclicked. You could take out 1 Brutal Jack. I don't know if I would. I still have to look at these decks, play with them and all this and test them, but 2 Brutal Jacks might be too much because the counter blasts are a bit excessive. So also Street Bouncer, I do like having Street Bouncer there, but it also didn't set me up that well in game. Another thing is I don't like Cosmo Lord that much personally, and the problem is I don't set it up enough, and that's why I usually just use the 3k counter blast, what is it, Death Metal Droid, because then I don't have to rest any units and everything like that. But this thing definitely does set up well with Perfect Razor. I think that's basically it with things taking out. Lion Heat, 100% recommend this card, honestly. And definitely, if you don't use that many counter blasts, I definitely recommend this. And yeah, maybe swapping out some of the grade 2s and 1s for the counter chargers, because then you can use Lion Heat more. Because counter blasts are definitely a big issue with this deck. But yeah, that's basically it. Again, oops, did not mean to do that. So these 2 decks, they're weird. Basically, I set it up so I just rush, and try to deal as much damage as possible. Basically, the games I lost are the ones where they stacked heals and PGs, but the other games I won, basically every single one of them. But yeah, that's basically it. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments down below and all that stuff. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later, and goodbye.